And our wrestling fans from the Stronghold Arena, Lamont Furnace, Pennsylvania. This will be your Rise Pro Wrestling final match and main event of the evening. It will be to a finish. At stake will be the Rise Grand Championship in this challenge of a champion match. Here are the rules. There will be only 2 competitors in the ring at a time. The remaining competitors must remain on the apron. A competitor must tag in and out to be legal. There will be no disqualifications and no countouts. A competitor can only be eliminated by pinfall or submission only. And finally, the last remaining competitor walks out as the Rise Grand Champion. Now let's bring all 6 principals to the ring.
What about the students?
So here comes the main event, and they have a huge advantage here tonight, Rev, being a team. And we asked them earlier, how they thought it was going to go, and some of the things afterwards. If one of them wins the title, are they going to be jealous? And they assured us, Duke Davis assured us that there was going to be no issues there between the main event. They're on the same page, and they're ready to win here tonight.
It's going to be very dangerous, like you said. We talked about it on Facebook Live. If you're following us at Rise Wrestling on Facebook, talked about doing our live intermission video. And they're going to look at me as a team player in the main event. That's what they do. I think right now, they're coming down to the ring all set to go. Perhaps hyped up for the main event right now. And yes, the main event is in the main event. What better way to determine this? And Gannon Jones Jr. has shown you he's ready. Duke Davis, a man of very little emotion but all action. They're both ready. And it's going to be hype.
I talked to Duke Davis earlier and I said, do you think you're going to win the title tonight? And he said, of course, I'm in a championship match. Why wouldn't I think I'm going to win the title tonight? They have the right attitude. They got the right teamwork. They got the athleticism and the size. And they're ready.
Well, that's the mindset of the main event. The main event doesn't look in the mindset of a pre-gamer. They look in the mindset of going to the Super Bowl every time within this wrestling business. And talking about the Super Bowl, we got another MVP-like star here at Rise. If you know that music, well, that's from the one, the only, Tony Iceman Johnson.
And of course, Tony Iceman Johnson, the main event, has asked him to join them multiple times. And we'll see if Tony joins the main event tonight with a title on the line, or if he'll fight alone. Rev, what would be your decision if the main event was in the match with you and you had the opportunity with the championship on the line to side with them? Would you fight it alone or would you go with them? Obviously you'd team up with them, right?
The Rev is a smart man. I mean, throughout our rich history, all within the Pittsburgh scene, actually, if you do a little bit of research, the Metal Human Duke Davis and I, we had been on teams prior with a very well-known established that took over all of Pittsburgh wrestling.
What do you think Tony Johnson's going to do tonight?
Tony Johnson's going to do what he does best. Let's be unpredictable. Here's the thing about Tony Johnson. He can adapt to any difficult situation. He's almost like, we said, chameleon within the wrestling business. Any type of problem that's put in his way, he's going to direct himself right to it.
And here comes the Reaper.
Reaper.
And of course the history between the main event, Tony Johnson and Matt Connor here, has been well documented in Rise Pro Wrestling.
The history runs deeper than a 6-foot grave. As we're talking about a 6-foot grave, we want to talk about the dead and the unknown, and that is the one of the likelihood of the Reaper, Matt Connor, another gentleman that I've had in the past the privilege of being in the ring with, and it was almost like a dead man, a hellacious man versus a saint. Matt Connor is one that can take you to the limit. He's not only known within the Pittsburgh area, but within Ohio, within Virginia, West Virginia, all around this world as a man that goes in, he means business, and he's going to try to capitalize by any means.
And tonight he's going to be known as the Rise Grand Champion. Here comes the underdog in this competition. He was not pinned in the triple threat grand championship match. Keep that in mind. And it's long been his dream to win the championship, and tonight he'll look to do just that.
One thing you need to know, the race is not given to those that finish first. The race is given to those who endure the longest. If you start the race off very quickly, you might not make it to the end. But if you calculate it just right and you endure it to the end, you just might make it. Lewis is one, he calculates and methods out every single situation. And this might be his time tonight. Don't underestimate Lewis, because this just might be the time his calculations equal 3.14.
Comes the champion, the apex of combat, about to make his way into the stronghold.
Yes, that is our Rise Grand Champion. That is the one, the only apex of combat, Lee Moriarty. This is a man that there's not much to say about him. I mean, the track record is for himself. One of the fastest climbing young talents that we do have within not only Rise, but with all of the Pittsburgh region, being able to go over to Mexico City itself and wrestle there for well over a week, come back and bring some of that talent that he learned back over and hone his skills even more within Rise. And now, there's a target on his back, Shane. Anything you know, anyone that holds gold, there's a target on your back.
That's right.
Lee's been doing a good job of capitalizing. Here's the thing, there's more than one person now. Can he capitalize? That's the real question.
Right, with all the odds stacked against him, Rev, do you think he's going to walk out of this as champ?
You know, I said this, turning over to Hank Hudson right now for our intros.
The main event from Norfolk, Virginia, weighing 260 pounds, the meta-human Duke Davis. Also at ringside, challenger number 2, also representing the main event from the Florida Keys, weighing 265 pounds, is Pro Wrestling All-Star Gannon Jones Jr. To my right in the ring, challenger number 3 from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 200 pounds, he is the Iceman, Tony Johnson. And to my left in the ring, challenger number 4 from Derry, Maine, weighing 215 pounds, he is the Reaper, Matt Pollard. And to my right, introducing challenger number 5 from Cambridge, Massachusetts, weighing 160 pounds, this is Lewis. And finally, to my left, he is the defending Rise Grand Champion from the 45th Chamber, weighing 80 kilos. He is the apex of combat, Lee Moriarty.
Ladies, you have the tail of the tape right there.
Did you
Sorry
say
about
ladies,
this.
Rev?
Yes, I mean,
You
referring
leaving
to
out our
you.
male audience?
No, I said ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies first, and then brothers and gentlemen. Now, you know, I'm a classic, man. You can be leaving.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn cooked, grab yourself a cold beverage, and settle in for the main event and the challenge of a champion here at the Stronghold.
For God's sake, did we live in the 1960s or what? Who's cooking popcorn nowadays? I put it in the microwave. Overrated and popcorn.
Rise Wrestling on Facebook, Rise Wrestling on Twitter and Instagram, and you can come out and watch us live here at the Stronghold. And the main event sitting back here. And remember, they have the advantage here tonight as the team. They're on the same page, and that's more that could be said for the Reaper or the Iceman. They've had their differences the last couple times they've been up against the main event. And, of course, Lewis the Nerd could be the dark horse tonight. He could end up winning it all. Then you got the Apex of Combat, who I think is the favorite. Despite the odds being stacked against him, I think he's still the favorite to win. There's a reason he's at the top, and there's a reason he's the champion. So you can feel the suspense in the air. You can cut the tension with a knife. And the action is just about to begin here. Not your conventional six-way championship match.
As you said before, when we talked to the main event during our live Facebook Live on our Facebook page at Rise Wrestling, they talked about how they're not concerned about going against one another. They come into this as a team. You know, the old song that says, one is the loneliest number. They're not worried about this. What they're worried about doing is taking care of business, bringing gold back into the hands, just in general, within Pittsburgh Wrestling for the main event. That's what they come to do.
As I said, not your conventional six-way matchup. You see 2 fighters in the ring at all times, and the rest have to be tagged in. And, of course, no disqualification as well. So settle in here, ladies and gentlemen. This one is going to be a classic, I think. And what a night it has been here at the Stronghold. The second of 2 championship fights on display here as the Apex of Combat and the Iceman are going to start things off. Lee Moriarty, often called the Bruce Lee of Rise Pro Wrestling, and he is bringing the kicks in early. What an opportunity for the Iceman here. But again, that question remains. Is this going to be the night where he finally caves and joins the main event in order to win the championship? You've got to keep that in mind here.
Notice the style right now that as they're looking to measure each other up, both of them are very light on their
Up in the center of the ring. Exactly. Both very light on their feet, both very agile, adept at using those kicks. Now, Lee Moriarty going to target the arm of the Iceman and twist that shoulder, twist the elbow as we're going to slip through. Headlock there. Traditional wrestling, as good as it gets here in the center of the ring so far. And down goes the knee.
Notice Lee Moriarty taking pressure off that headlock by grabbing the inner wrist of Tony Johnson in order to alleviate some of the stress off of the jawbone and the side temple from that headlock. That's a very smart thing that you need to do in order to at least allow yourself to have a little bit of breathing room within that and kind of think about what you're trying to establish.
Wow, look at the athleticism there from Tony Johnson. Another headlock applied. Off the ropes he goes. Lee Moriarty. Ooh, knocked down in the center of the ring there. Jumps right back up.
Oh, my God. In other words,
Off
bring it
ropes.
again.
Goes Johnson. Lee Moriarty, back and forth they go. Off the ropes. Wow, look at that. Lands on his feet. Oh, there goes Lee Moriarty. Back to their feet they go. You got to see the respect in their eyes there. I think they have a newfound level of respect here tonight for each other after that exchange.
There are only very few things that you can see within the city of Pittsburgh in regards to professional wrestling, and a lot of those few things you can see only right here at Rise. These are 2 of the best.
Off the ropes they go to the main event.
They shook
On the
hands.
outside.
They shook hands for a sign of
There's
maybe a
the
little bit of
alliance.
teamwork.
Yeah, maybe an alliance formed there against the main event.
Main event trying to give a little bit of a timeout session, maybe not trying to get into the game.
On the outside now, the Iceman and Lee Moriarty working together. Start chipping away at the main event, but here comes the Reaper. Taken down.
Wait a second. I think we have one more. No, I don't think he's going to do it. I think he is.
Wait a second.
Is he flying? Some people say when pigs fly. I might actually say when nerds fly.
Going to the top.
He's
Wait a
going up.
second. Gannon Jones.
Oh, it's still going.
Oh, there goes Lewis the Nerd, but he was pushed instead of jumping off the top rope, and nonetheless lands into that grouping there of the Iceman, the champion, the Reaper, all of them going down there. Now, in the ring, it is Gannon Jones Jr. Duke Davis taking a knee to the gut on the outside. And a brawl has ensued here. Oh, wait a second. Whoa, wait a second. Gannon Jones launching himself.
Like we said prior, the main event, Gannon Jones Jr., Duke Davis, These are guys that do not need to be doing something, but the fact that they can, that shows that they can do anything, whatever you throw at them. There's a reason why they're called the main event, because you have to expect the unexpected, and that's exactly what they're doing here today. When's the last time you saw a big man fly in the air like that? Come on.
The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He was an all-time great, so there you go. Yeah, good company there. Not often you see it, and now the main event taking it to, oh no, wait a second. Oh, the Iceman and the Reaper slipping off the back. There goes Duke Davis's head into the ring post. And now we have Tony Johnson and Lee Moriarty, the reigning champion, back in the ring. Just as we started, we now continue. Oh, wait a second.
Reaper tagging himself in.
Reaper, yeah.
He's looking at him like, listen, man, I wasn't finished with what I was trying to do with this business. I think Matt Connor wants a little bit of action tonight.
And this is Connor's shot, of course, and is he finally going to win the big one? Rev, what do you think? There's an exchange here.
It's all in the hands of it, but I don't quite know.
Wait a second. Lewis the Nerd's in as well.
Lewis is optimistic about this opportunity. Like we stated before, a lot of times the cliche within this business is never say never. And a lot of times we have seen that come, that cliche into action, into an actual fact. So,
Lewis the Nerd in the ring here. He's an underdog for sure.
Wait a second, he's calculating.
He's calculating, yeah.
One thing that gravitates me about this, a lot of people underestimate, because Lewis is a man that picks his words out very creatively. And a little bit ago on Facebook, he was stating that, when he was a kid, he used to have one toy belt.
Yeah.
One toy belt. But now it comes to...
Right hand from the Reaper. Man, oh man.
But now it comes to get the real thing. So this is the point that we come to right now tonight.
And now the Reaper just pummeling away on Lewis the Nerd. Needs to get back to a vertical basis here. Does so, but Reaper's lifting him up again. Body slam there. And hook of the leg. 1, 2, and kick out. Championship on the line. Lewis the Nerd staying in. And keep in mind, this is on Lewis the Nerd to not give up now. I mean, the other competitors are staying on the outside, but they're essentially helpless if that count goes to 2 or 3. They have a split second to get involved. And there's Lewis the Nerd with a diving elbow off the top. Kind of springboarding backwards and landing that elbow.
That back elbow right off.
And code breaker, no, denied. Ooh, man, oh man. Hook, 1, 2, and kick out again. Again, championship on the line.
Just like ring announcer Hank Hudson said, only 2 guys are technically allowed in the ring as legal opponents. But at the same time, let's not be mindful. Whoever gets this pin, they're that new champion.
Duke Davis tagging himself in. Keep in mind, there are no disqualifications in this either. So, this is the question I asked the main event earlier. If they ended up against each other, what would they do? Duke Davis told me they're on the same page, and it wouldn't come to that. But here we see the moment of truth. Here we go.
I never thought that I would see this in a million years.
Cannon Jones Jr., Duke Davis, and there's nobody to tag. Notice Reaper moved himself all the way over. He got out of dodge, and there goes the apex of
combat. Even the champion, Lee Moriarty, said, no, it's not happening.
And this is karma. This is karma, Rev.
Matt Connor, Tony Johnson, what do you say?
How does teamwork fare when you're against your teammate?
Wait a second, let's listen to these fans. They are so in for this.
Oh, look at this.
A little bit of kumbaya before they square up.
Kumbaya, and here we go. We're going to see it. Duke Davis, Cannon Jones Jr. Oh, no, look at that. Oh, wait a second. Tag is made.
I guess we're not going to see it.
I guess we're not going to see it.
I was really looking forward to that. I never thought that I would see 2 of those giants go back and back.
Oh. Shot delivered to Reaper as he gets in the ring. And here we go, Tony Johnson. This is a moment of truth for him. I mentioned, is he going to join the main event? A final offer here.
Well, I would honestly tell Tony Johnson to join. I mean, have you ever felt, the quality of a main event T-shirt?
You can always strike out on your own later, but with the championship on the line, this might be the best opportunity for him. At least that has to be going through his mind. Should I take this? He's weighing the pros and the cons.
My thing is, have you ever felt the quality of a main event T-shirt? If you did, you would want to join the main event right now.
Yes, absolutely, Will.
Fans are...
Here we go. You don't have to join the main event to wear the main event T-shirt. The quality, as Rev said, speaks for itself. But there we go, that T-shirt, the quality being ripped right into the face of Duke Davis. Gannon Jones Jr., Duke Davis both being assaulted here, back and forth. And, the drop kick to both of them at the same time. What a maneuver there from Tony Johnson. And now Duke Davis on the outside. There's a kick in the middle of the ring. Iceman's down. Reaper might have it. My goodness.
Tony Johnson eliminated.
The Reaper scoring the elimination on Tony Johnson.
Like we stated, it does not take one pin in order for the other person to retain the title. This is an elimination form. So Tony Johnson is now out. He is eliminated out of the equation, leaving it down to 5 gentlemen only.
And as I said, when you're in there one-on-one, it's on you. I mean, unless you're the main event, you really don't have a teammate in there. So Duke Davis back in and delivering another kick to the gut to the Reaper. Taking the punishment to him here as Reaper hangs on the ropes. And there's going to be no mercy here from Duke Davis. Dismantling the Reaper in the corner now.
Notice those big boots. I believe perhaps a size 15, 16.
And now being driven into the throat and the jaw and the chest of the Reaper. We talked about the size and the athleticism. When you combine that together, it's a very rare thing when you see it executed to the level that the main event executes it.
It is a lethal weapon, especially when you now have 2 of them. Twice the athleticism, twice the height, twice the size. I mean, this is lethal.
And that is why they are so effective here. And you see them keeping the action over in their corner. The ring awareness here looks like a boot and the sidewalk slam there.
That's that signature move that we talk about every single time. It's almost like the playbook that you see on the left forearm of Gannon Jones. Remember, we talked about it on Facebook Live, on the company's Facebook Live. I asked them, I said, what is in the playbook? They said, well, I mean, you wouldn't expect Tom Brady to go out to thousands of people. I just wanted to know one play, man. Look at that shot. Be successful, too.
Yeah, they were very Bill Belichick-esque in their answers to us. But here we go. Gannon Jones Jr. as Reaper against the ropes. Those quality shots delivered. Boxing-esque quality shots that would make Floyd Mayweather proud. Or now the sleeper hold being locked in. And that's the thing, they use it. It doesn't matter if it's striking, if it's grappling. You see it all on display here. Gannon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis can do it all. So talented, and now just the pressure locked up.
Gannon saying he's going to try to squeeze the head off of Matt Connor. As you see him trying to apply more pressure into the trachea region of Matt Connor. Now, what exactly that does is the tighter you squeeze, the more compressed it is. It's going to cut the blood circulation off from the brain, allowing perhaps Matt Connor to pass out. If that is the case, they can eliminate him that way.
Drop kick. Defense, hook of the leg, 1, 2, and no.
You know, when Gannon Jones Jr. screamed at us, I expected the fans to probably say shut him down because, I mean, in football terms and in playmaker terms, when you say defense, other people say shut him down. I think that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to shut down the very being of Matt Connor and get him eliminated out of the equation.
So here we go, Matt Connor now being worn down here. There's the tag made to Duke Davis, Gannon Jones Jr. holding up Reaper, and another right hand uppercut right to the gut of the Reaper. The showdown at the Stronghold here. The challenge of a champion, now down to 5 combatants. Will the Reaper be eliminated to make it 4? Duke Davis now. He's taking a little bit of time there, and Reaper capitalizing on that. But, man, that uppercut.
That's what I'm talking about.
That'll send you to the dust, huh, Rick?
Absolutely. All it takes is one good, precise strike right there. You might be calling up Aspinall Dental.
Yeah, that'll.
You won't quite have that Antonio Brown smile anymore, I'll tell you that.
You're too big, dude.
Well, here we
Too
go.
big.
Reaper hanging on the ropes. Will he be eliminated here? His punishment is setting Reaper up later on for moves that are just going to knock him out of the equation, and that's the thing about the main event. They wear down their opponents. They set up for the finish, and that's a talent that a lot of wrestlers overlook is the setup. And here's the cover, 1, 2, and again, you can't stress it enough. Each cover, it takes energy. It takes the fatigue sets in as the opponent is forced to get his shoulder up, and he has the opponent's full weight on him.
There used to be a drill that we would do all the time in order, as large as the school was, one person would be in the middle of the ring, and the person would jump on them, put their full body weight on them, and you would have to kick out each and every person with all of your body weight. By the time you get to kicking out on like the 5th time, you're completely exhausted. And what that does, that prepares you for times like this to where your body doesn't want to give anymore.
Lee Moriarty.
You have to force your body
Gannon
to
Jones
break out.
Jr. landing the clothesline there, spinning through. Second clothesline, and a little bit of the fist connected there as well. And now Gannon Jones Jr. flipping the champion around there with the impact.
They're asking, is this your champion? Lee Moriarty throwing it as the fans are saying, yes it is, as they chant Lee.
Gannon Jones Jr. looking to eliminate the champion here. We would be guaranteed to crown a new champion if that was to happen. But Lee Moriarty battling back.
Tag by Lewis.
Oh, look at that. Lee Moriarty diving to the outside. And it looks like Duke Davis has the champion in his grasp on the outside.
Codebreaker.
Codebreaker landed on Gannon Jones
Is he
Jr.
out?
Hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
Gannon Jones Jr. out of the match, and the champion Snake Eyes into the ring post. But what an upset we just saw here. The main event has been shattered here as far as their teamwork, their alliance in the ring. That has been broken now with Gannon Jones Jr. eliminated.
The All-Star was just eliminated by the Nerd Star. This is absolutely amazing.
So now Duke Davis is alone here tonight for the rest of the way.
You know what? Numbers game is no longer going to play.
Taken out of the equation
No.
by the calculations, and here's another codebreaker attempt, but no! Lewis goes down here, and look at the strength of Duke Davis looking to avenge his partner.
Duke is
But
way
1,
too strong.
2, 3, and he avenges.
You know, I had all the
Gannon
things
Jones
that I
Jr.
did, and within Lewis, especially after that surprising pin against Gannon Jones Jr.
Here comes
but
the Reaper.
Duke Davis wasn't so happy about that. I think he has to turn
Duke
around.
Davis has
though.
got to watch out here. Reaper setting up. Duke Davis is the last representative of the main event. He gets drop kicked into the corner. And, another drop kick right to the chest. Oh, no. What a maneuver there. As Duke Davis lands hard on the canvas and Reaper jumps to the outside.
Reaper falling into another out-of-body
Looking to
experience.
go up top here. He's looking to roll the dice, really land it. Duke Davis has got to be aware. And if he's not, he's going to pay for it. I think Duke Davis is aware of what's coming, but ooh. Here we go. Reaper again, trying to get that momentum, and his own momentum lands his jaw squarely right into that elbow of Duke Davis. Oh, caught here the big boot, and tripped up is Duke Davis, and here comes Matt Connard here with the submission. Will Duke Davis tap out?
Very unorthodox hold, almost wrapped around him like a spider in some sort, contorting his body right around that left leg of Duke Davis. One thing you want to try to do to a monster, you want to take him off the very foundation. What better way than to try to chop him off?
Oh, here comes the Reaper,
Body part
pulling
by
him
body
away.
part.
There's the ring awareness, pulling him away from the ropes, pulling him away from the rope break. And locked in the center of the ring. Not looking good for Duke Davis here. The agony is on the face of the last representative of the main event.
You know, the mentality of this is if Matt Connard can just dismember one leg from the metahuman Duke Davis, then he has done his justice. A giant is not as effective if they only have one
Oh,
good
here it is,
leg.
locked in again, and the Reaper is determined to get this submission. Every time Duke Davis gets close to the ropes, he's pulled back away. And that hold is just tearing at the knee of Duke Davis. What is
Is that Tony
this?
Johnson? Was he? Yeah, he was the first eliminated.
Tony Johnson's out here, and Duke Davis
Right,
is
Duke is
tapping out
tapping.
in the center of the ring.
I don't think the ref saw it. I don't think Ref Nick saw it. I don't think the ref saw
Tony
it.
Johnson's distracting the referee.
Connor's little-
Oh, hung up there. Wait a second. Tony Johnson's wearing the main event T-shirt.
Wait a
Tony
second, let's get a
Johnson.
closer look at that. Look at that.
Tony Johnson has joined
Did
the
he
main
make the
event.
decision?
There's the roll up from Duke Davis, and there's the cover. What a series of events.
I think
Tony
that's
Johnson.
something that has the crowd unexpected. As you see some of the crowd with their mouth open, almost jaw drop. Matt Connor isn't happy.
Wait a second, the Reapers chasing after Tony Johnson. They were teamed together multiple times against the main event, but now it's down to two. And then there were two, and those two are Lee Moriarty and Duke Davis with the title on the line. What an exchange this is going to be.
We have the Bruce Lee of wrestling. We have the metahuman, the giant, per se, the secondary play caller for the main event right here. This might be the legit version of a David and Goliath match. Now, mind you, like we stated before, there used to be a crew of us that used to run within the Pittsburgh Professional Wrestling under a group that went by a certain name. Now, within this particular thing, these are two guys, they know each other. We used to eat with each other. We used to train with each other. A lot
There's
of
that
things.
history.
There's a lot of history right now.
The challenge of a
What
champion.
happens when history repeats itself? That's my question, Shane.
The challenge of a champion about to be concluded here. It's down to two.
That leg that Matt Connor targeted
And the leg.
earlier in the match, you see now is a little bit out
Taking its toll.
Duke is trying to favor a little bit.
That's what I was going to mention before Tony Johnson came out, is that Duke Davis, even if he gets out of that hold, what toll is that going to take on him heading forward?
Duke trying to give himself a little bit of breathing room. I mean, you know that Lee is a man that is very tactical.
Oh, here comes
plans
Lee.
everything out.
He's not going to wait. And, oh, what a kick on the outside. And then Duke Davis, after getting kicked, lands on that cement.
Lee Moriarty snapping into another form of
Oh,
being.
there's an uppercut on the outside. Hobbled is Duke Davis. And, oh, into the steel chair. I think that fan helped Lee Moriarty. But here Lee Moriarty goes, the reigning champion, bringing it to Duke Davis. Oh, there's a kick to the chest. Another kick. Another. And the champion brings down Duke Davis. You said David and Goliath.
That's what we're looking
Down
at
goes
right
the
now.
giant.
Oh!
Man, Duke Davis.
You know,
How is
not-
he not unconscious after that?
Not many times do we see Duke Davis flat on his, flat without on any legs on his stomach or anything. But the damage that was done earlier by the Reaper Matt Connor on that leg was able to supplement this time. And like I stated before, Lee Moriarty is one, he capitalizes on any type of advantage that he can take. That's why he's been the champion. That's why he was the very first champion here. There's a reason why he got this far. But the thing is, can he finish now? This is a giant he is in the ring now. This is a guy that doesn't care about rules as long as he gets the job done and the play is fulfilled. That's what we're looking at tonight.
And you see, even hobbled on one leg, Duke Davis is almost unstoppable when he gets in a rhythm and gets to execute that playbook that you talk about so much, Rev. And there goes Lee Moriarty into the ring post.
I still want to know what's in this playbook, though. I might have to take him to like the Waffle House and we're going to have to talk a couple things out there.
Well, Duke Davis coming back into the ring. Is that the secret to get Bill Belichick to answer questions as well? Do you know, Rev? Or
No,
maybe you could use that if you knew that.
You know, I think Bill Belichick is more of a Red Lobster type of guy. You know? Rev's not quite on that level yet. The only person I brought Red Lobster for is my wife. That's the only one. Mrs. Red.
Well, Duke Davis bringing the champion into the corner, and Lee Moriarty battling back from the brink. A headbutt there takes its own toll on Lee Moriarty, but that's what he's willing to sacrifice and lay down on the line. to retain that championship.
You know what? You never know how hungry a man is until you put his title in jeopardy. When you have it, you want to keep it for as long as you can, no matter how many target or how big the target is. You want to keep it. I believe Lee is the type that wants to do whatever it takes.
Man, the velocity here.
Giant
that Irish
splash.
whip and then the giant splash. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this could end at any moment. It's the final two, and Duke Davis is looking to walk out of the stronghold as the Rise Grand Champion. Lee Moriarty looking to retain. Here comes a sidewalk slam down into the center of the ring. Lee Moriarty driven. Can he hold on? Hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, doesn't even get the second count there. Lee Moriarty gets the kick out.
Notice that Lee not only kicks out, but momentarily sets up and shakes his head. In other words, you got to do much more than that to keep me down. If anything, Duke Davis has to put everything he has in here. That whole entire 6'6", 6'7" frame, size 15, size 16 Duke, he has to throw it all in there, including the kitchen sink.
Twisting on the neck, clinking in that sleeper there, trying to wear down Lee Moriarty. We've seen the wars that both of these two men have been in over the last few months. Leading up to this moment, it's the culmination of two journeys, the crossroads. One of them is going to walk away as champion, the other is going to have to go back to the drawing board. Here comes the Bruce Lee of pro wrestling, Lee Moriarty. But that signature final kick was reversed there, and there's a clothesline that, there down goes Lee Moriarty. That clothesline took his head
Inside,
off.
out, flip side up, whatever you want to call it. Upside
Hook
down.
of the leg
turn
here,
me.
championship on the line, and Lee Moriarty again refuses to relinquish the Rise Grand Championship.
This whole entire match from start to finish, from when we started with 6 all the way down to 2, has been nothing short of what the fans have come to expect. I believe everyone got their money's worth tonight and more throughout our whole entire night. And then this is just the icing on the cherry on the cake, man.
All right, there's the clubbing blow to the back of Lee Moriarty. Yeah, right there. Icing cherry on the cake. You seem a little
You know
confused
what,
there.
Rev's just a little bit
I know-
hungry right now.
hey,
I need a little bit of caffeine in my system.
Well, here we go, Duke Davis.
I'm going to stop at Sheets right after this. There you go. Your free plug, Sheets. Give out free coffee.
Lee Moriarty staggered here. Duke Davis is feeling it here. Will we crown a new champion? Up goes Lee Moriarty. And he lands on his feet. Here goes those combination shots, so lethal. Knee to the face. Lee Moriarty. Oh, man, what a shot. You could hear the impact.
Notice
All the way
each and every strike. He's
in
getting
Ohio.
full contact within that, Shane. Full contact.
Oh,
And down goes that giant.
down goes the
Is this
giant.
it?
Hook of
Is
the
he
leg.
retaining?
1, 2, no.
Now that's very smart. Let me point one thing out. Notice on that last pin, Lee took extra care in bringing in that right arm of Duke in order to allow him to only have one less limb to kick out. That's a smart move, well ahead of the game. He throws the X up. He says finish
Lee
him.
Moriarty lands it
Here we
there.
go.
Hook of the leg.
Wakanda
1,
forever.
2, 3. Lee Moriarty retains the Rise Grand Championship.
Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if
27 minutes, 11 seconds, your winner and still Rise Grand Champion, the Apex of Combat, Lee Moriarty.
You know, we have to give it, Shane. We have to give it to each and every competitor that was in this whole entire match. From 6 all the way down to 2. From Duke Davis to Lewis the Nerd to Cannon Jones Jr., Tony Johnson, Matt Conner, even our continuing Rise Grand Slam champion, Lee Moriarty. I mean, tooth and nail all throughout the night, man. Absolutely crazy.
And then there was one, and that one is number 1 in Rise Pro Wrestling. The challenge of a champion being won by Lee Moriarty on the biggest weekend in pro wrestling. Here at the Stronghold, the Apex of Combat reigns supreme yet again.
We want to remind you,
Wait a
ladies and
second,
gentlemen.
here the main event
Uh-oh.
surrounding the champion.
Wait a second. Let's not go up there. Let's stay on air, guys.
Oh, wait a second, the triple team here. You gotta be kidding me.
Notice prior. Are we still in? Okay, we are still in there. Ladies and gentlemen, notice prior, before the match, Tony Johnson came back out to kind of pay some just dues to Matt Connor. Tony Johnson is now part of the main event.
Tony Johnson siding with the main event. We wondered if that was going to be the end result here. And what is this? The champions won the title. Not this. Oh, my goodness. The champion might be broken in half after that triple team maneuver from the main event. This changes nothing. The champion retaining the title. They can't take that title away from him here, but wait a second, here comes the Reaper with the steel chair. Reaper coming to the defense. And Lewis the Nerd coming out as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe,
Lewis the Nerd coming out to the defense of the reigning champion.
The main event member, Duke Davis, has Lee's title right now. I don't think this is over. I think this is close from being over. We want to remind you guys that the next following event will be on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. Yours truly, the Rev Ron Hunt, my broadcast partner, Shane. We will be here. We want you guys to be here, but make sure this doesn't stop here. Stay tuned with us on our website. What is it? RiseWrestling.com?
RiseWrestling.com. Rise Wrestling on Facebook. Rise Wrestling on Twitter and Instagram. Don't miss out on the action, and don't forget to rise up next time here at the Stronghold for Rise Pro Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us and rising up for Rise Pro Wrestling here at the Stronghold Arena. Rev, any final words for the audience?
You know what, Shane, I have no final words. Actually, I'm glad you closed us out because real quick, I'm going to try to transfer over, if we can, over to Facebook and try to see if I can get someone to get an interview with Tony Johnson and see what the heck he was thinking. So make sure you follow us on all our social media, just like Shane said. Stay tuned with us. A lot of interviews that we're not able to get on air, you will find it on our social media and on our website. Make sure you follow us, and we look forward to seeing you on March 5th for Rise Wrestling.
He is still your Rise Grand Champion, the apex of combat, Lee Moriarty.